The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Raider Nation, we have signed quarterback Gardner Minshew. It took a while for this to sink in, and, just like many of you listeners, I was not happy at the move. And, it's going to take a while to get used to the fact that Gardner Minshew is our quarterback. And, I'm not going to get into all the stats and all his measurables and all that, because I think we all know what this means. This is going to be our bridge quarterback. He's not going to be the quarterback of the future. But, I think there is some disappointment there, and we're going to get into why. So first, me and Rashawn were debating this over text. We were debating as to whether or not Minshew was going to start games for us this year. And the reason why I said he would start is because you don't pay a backup quarterback $15 million. And, I know the actual contract is 2 years, I believe 25 million. But if you look at the guarantees, all the whole entire 15 million that's guaranteed is for this 1 year, this upcoming year. So that's not $15 million is not backup money. That's starting quarterback or bridge quarterback money. So this means that, he most likely is going to start the beginning of the season for us. Another thing that this means is Justin Fields will not be a Raider. I saw a bunch of rumors that he's going to be, we're kicking the tires on a potential Justin Fields trade even after the Minshew signing, which is completely false, because you would not bring in Gardner Minshew if you were going to bring in Justin Fields. You don't bring in two veterans. That makes no sense. The Justin Fields talk should be over. We're not going to bring in Justin Fields. I can tell you that. I can report that. He will not be a quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. So Justin Fields, if you hear anyone talking about that, just unfollow them. Don't listen to them. We're not going to bring in Fields. So yeah, I think what this means is we are targeting a rookie quarterback in the draft. If you don't bring in a rookie quarterback and have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell battle it out, it's an utter disaster. I think it's a fireable offense if you don't have a rookie quarterback and you have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as your sole QBs, sole competent QBs in your quarterback room. So we have to bring in a rookie quarterback, because you have to have some future. If we weren't going to bring a rookie, there's no point in even bringing in Gardner, because you could have just kept Aiden O'Connell. And I still think you could have just kept Aiden O'Connell if you're going to have a rookie, but that's a separate discussion. And, we've been talking about this. It's going to be hard to get a rookie quarterback because, as it stands right now, it's going to be Caleb and some order of Jaden Daniels and Drake May. And the only two guys, I guess three guys who are worth sort of drafting is, obviously Bo Nix and Michael Penix. I would consider Penix 4, Bo Nix 5, and McCarthy 6. So those are the only quarterbacks I would feel comfortable acquiring as a rookie and, throwing them into the fire year one, are those three guys who are the only ones we're probably going to be available to us. So you have to come out of the draft with one of those three guys. I think it signals, the Minshew signing signals that we are targeting one of those three guys. So yeah, I think we're going to have this. And, I remember Telesco, he brought in Tyrod Taylor when they drafted Justin Herbert, and they started the year with Tyrod Taylor, and I think he punctured his lung or something crazy. And then it was Herbert who took over in that Kansas City game, and they didn't look back. So, Telesco's done this before, and he's gotten the quarterback right. It's not that, it was Tyrod Taylor for an entire year. It was Tyrod Taylor for a game. So, hopefully, obviously, I hope this guy doesn't puncture his lung, but hopefully we start him for a game or two, and then we let the rookie ball. But, Gardner Minshew is, I think he's going to start the season. I think that's what is going to end up happening. It's going to be that Tyrod Taylor role is what this quarterback's going to play. So be that as it may, that's what it is, but that's fine. Like, if you want to do that, that's fine. Bringing in a veteran, I have no issue with that, but I do have an issue with this one thing. You could have got Russell Wilson, who's willing to come to the Raiders for $1 million a year for the veteran minimum contract. You could have brought in Russell Wilson, who's a more proven winner. And it's not like he has to mentor the rookie. He just has to play. You're not looking for him to mentor. You're just looking for him to start a few games. Because it's not like Gardner Minshew's some amazing mentor. He's just a random quarterback. Could have brought in Russell Wilson, who gives you a better shot to win your first few games, whether it's halfway through the season or the entire season if you want to start this guy. But if you're going to start Gardner Minshew for the entire season, it's going to suck. We don't want Gardner Minshew to start, let alone the entire season, but we don't want him to start any games. But Russell Wilson, for a cheaper deal, I feel more confident in his ability to win games than Gardner Minshew. So he was sitting there and he was wanting to come to the Raiders. There were reports even after he signed with Pittsburgh that he said that, if his other teams that he would have went to were the New England Patriots and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we didn't even sniff around with Russell Wilson. It seemed like we were always out on him. So I don't get the rationale of us not wanting to bring in Russell Wilson and just, targeting Gardner Minshew of all people. So, I think this doesn't mean that we're going to be, our future is over because we have Gardner Minshew. But, it does bring me some questions of, why didn't we look at Russ, or why didn't we look at Fields more seriously? I feel like we didn't hear anything about Justin Fields, who I would have preferred over Gardner Minshew. Um, yeah, and even if you bring in Fields, it doesn't stop you from, bringing in a rookie. So I just don't get why Gardner Minshew was the guy here. Sort of a random kind of acquisition. And I really hope that Antonio Pierce doesn't go out and say, well, yeah, he beat us in week 17, so we decided to bring him in. That's really flawed logic. And I think if he does go out and say that, as much as we love Antonio Pierce, that's a very ignorant comment you're going to make, to say that we saw some guy, perform well in a game and we decided to bring him in. If he goes out and says it, because he said that about Luke Getsy, which, that brought some questions in my mind of, you're gonna go and say that about a guy who just had one good, game against you. So if he goes out and says that for Gardner Minshew, it's pretty ignorant for him to say that. He didn't say that yet, but I'm hearing AP, knowing AP, I think that's something he would say. And that would suck if after one game you're gonna bring this guy in. And if that was the case, then, is it Telesco or is it AP running the show? This raises a lot of questions. And I'm not very happy with this move. I don't know a lot of people who, I've seen on Twitter, or, you know, people I've talked to. So, Gardner Minshew is going to be, I would say there's a 90% chance he starts week one. And, that's a pill that people are going to have to swallow. And, we're going to see Raider Nation. Free agency is not done. There's going to be a lot more moves. Hopefully we can flesh out the rest of the roster. Obviously, our big signing of the day, Christian Wilkins, was massive. So hopefully more of that to come, and not of signings like Gardner Minshew to come. But yeah, Raider Nation, we're gonna see. Thank you guys for the support. Continue liking, subscribing, commenting. Everyone, matters and counts. So, we appreciate all of it. And we're gonna have you guys covered for the rest of free agency, the draft, all the way to the next season. So, thank you guys, Raider Nation, and we'll see you till then.